Canned sauces and gravies are deceptively dangerous for people with high blood pressure because their threat is hidden beneath a seemingly mild, innocuous flavor. At first glance, they appear convenient, easy to use, and harmless. After all, a little jar of tomato sauce or a rich brown gravy seems like just a flavor enhancer for meals. But the reality is that these products are often loaded with sodium, preservatives, and sometimes added sugar, all of which can subtly but significantly raise blood pressure over time. For someone with hypertension, relying on canned sauces is like sprinkling hidden hazards into every meal, slowly undermining cardiovascular health without obvious warning signs. The problem starts with sodium. Manufacturers use salt as a preservative and flavor enhancer, so even plain tomato sauces, pasta sauces, or gravies contain surprisingly high amounts of sodium. A half-cup serving of canned tomato sauce can contain 400 to 600 milligrams of sodium, while a serving of gravy may exceed 500 milligrams. Many people pour much more than the suggested serving onto their dishes, especially pasta, meat, or rice, unknowingly consuming far more sodium than intended. For someone with hypertension, this can immediately spike blood pressure by increasing fluid retention and blood volume, forcing the heart to pump harder and stressing already fragile arteries. The effects may not feel dramatic at first, but repeated consumption compounds the problem, leaving the cardiovascular system in a near-constant state of tension. Canned sauces and gravies are particularly insidious because their salt content is hidden. Unlike a bag of chips or a salted snack, where the flavor immediately signals high sodium, these sauces can taste mild or even subtly sweet, masking the danger. This means people may pour generous amounts over pasta, vegetables, or meat, believing they are making a wholesome meal, while in reality they are introducing a substantial sodium load that quietly drives up blood pressure. Over weeks and months, this hidden sodium effect accumulates, contributing to chronic hypertension, arterial stiffness, and kidney strain. Another danger comes from added sugars and flavor enhancers. Many commercially prepared sauces include sugar to balance acidity or enrich flavor, as well as monosodium glutamate, MSG, or hydrolyzed vegetable proteins that further elevate sodium content. Sugar contributes to weight gain, insulin resistance, and inflammation, all of which exacerbate hypertension. MSG, in addition to increasing sodium intake, may overstimulate vascular responses, subtly amplifying blood pressure spikes. When paired with already high sodium, the combined effect is a potent stressor on the cardiovascular system. Canned sauces and gravies also encourage unhealthy eating patterns. Because they are convenient, people often pair them with other processed or high-sodium foods, pasta, frozen meats, boxed sides, or instant noodles, creating a cumulative sodium and fat overload in a single meal. For someone with hypertension, these stacked exposures are particularly harmful, as each component adds pressure on the heart, stiffens arteries, and strains the kidneys. What begins as a seemingly small dietary convenience quickly escalates into a daily assault on vascular health. Long-term consumption of these products can have serious consequences. The arteries slowly lose elasticity under constant sodium pressure, the heart gradually works harder to pump against elevated blood volume, and the kidneys strain to excrete excess sodium. This persistent stress increases the risk of left ventricular hypertrophy, chronic kidney disease, stroke, and heart attack. Even for someone taking medication for high blood pressure, repeated exposure to hidden sodium in canned sauces can undermine treatment effectiveness and make it much more difficult to control blood pressure. What makes canned sauces and gravies particularly dangerous is their normalization in everyday cooking. They are marketed as time-saving, flavorful staples that make home cooking easier, and they are consumed across cultures and meals. For hypertensive individuals, this normalization masks their risk. People rarely think of a tomato sauce jar or a packet of gravy as a high-sodium food, so they are consumed casually, habitually, and often in amounts that greatly exceed safe limits. Over time, these small, unnoticed sodium exposures quietly push blood pressure higher, turning a convenient meal into a cumulative cardiovascular hazard. For those with high blood pressure, the safest approach is to avoid canned sauces and gravies or choose low-sodium, homemade alternatives. Fresh tomatoes, herbs, spices, and unprocessed ingredients allow flavor without the hidden sodium spike. Every jar of canned sauce avoided is one less stealthy sodium attack on the arteries and heart, protecting blood pressure from the slow, relentless damage that these seemingly innocent foods can cause. In short, canned sauces and gravies are far from harmless kitchen staples. They may taste mild and convenient, but for people with hypertension, they are hidden sodium traps that gradually increase blood pressure, strain the heart, and silently erode vascular health. What feels like a small flavor boost can, over weeks and months, translate into serious long-term consequences if consumed regularly.